Every single person is powerful, perfect as they are. And I believe we all have a role to play in making this world a better place. My purpose is to help people step into their power. Lovely to see you today.
You
so
too.
It'd be really helpful if you gave me a little bit about your background.
Okay. Well, I'm 30.
Okay.
I just turned 30 December. I have a son. He is 7. His name is Rainer.
Yeah.
I work as a graphic designer. I do freelance, and I also have my own.
Okay.
And, well, I live with my best friend in Hollywood, like 15 minutes away from here. Basically, I don't know, I'm a normal person. I don't really know. Just going day by day, I guess.
So what would you like to focus on today?
Me.
So tell me about how you feel about you.
Well, it has come to my attention the past few weeks that I have like a lot of issues to work on regarding like my relationships with other people, with some of my friends, and or basically generally, like about myself too, because like there's like a life-changing thing that happened to me a couple years ago, and I thought that I have healed from it, but then like due to like these recent events that happened, I found out that I still have a lot. Like, I don't know.
haven't really dealt with the past completely.
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess like I've been just like burying like most of them deep.
Okay.
But yeah.
So I understand you had a relationship breakup.
Yes.
And you'd been together how long?
9 years.
And whose decision was it to break up?
Well, mine.
Okay.
But yeah, it was kind of like it's not like a infidelity issue, because it's just differences, I guess, of like what we want.
Okay.
And yeah, basically I thought it was becoming too toxic for me and my kid.
Okay.
So I had to get myself out of there and my son, because that's what's most important. And it's been hard.
I'm sure it must have taken a lot of courage to leave.
A lot, yeah. I'm so happy that my mom is there,
Yeah.
and my sister and my friend, my best friends, were there for me, and they supported me. But it's a lot.
So what do you think it is about the recent events that have actually triggered the old stuff?
Well, I had a talk with my mom because she noticed like I haven't been, like fully engaging with like the recent relationships that I have, like with friends.
So you're talking about with friends or with dates?
Dates too.
Two
Both.
or both of them?
Both of them, yeah. So like my mom told me that she brought it to my attention that people don't usually I don't usually open up to people. Like it takes so much for me to like open up to people, because I guess my guard is always up. Like I always feel like they're gonna hurt me, or like I'm gonna hurt them, or that I'm responsible for like hurting these people, and it's better that I just keep my distance. I guess I thought that I wasn't doing that,
Right.
but then when she told me about it, I felt like, well, kinda, because most of the friends that I have right now, they're just there for like for good times. Like I haven't really like opened up a lot in like about
During the time you had a relationship, and it was 9 years, did you keep friends with any of the people that you were friends with prior to that relationship, or did they sort of fizzle out?
Only 2 of them did not fizzle out, but like most of them did.
Okay.
Yeah, and those 2 that didn't fizzle out were my 2 best friends. And like I didn't really care about, getting into like new friendships anymore. because, well, I have them and I have my relationship. So, yeah.
So your best friends, do you still feel like that with them, that you don't really want to share with them?
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because first of all, like, they have problems of their own too, and it feels like sometimes my problems are not really, real problems compared to the problems that they have. So
let me ask you, do you listen to their problems?
yeah,
And do you think that they find that valuable?
yeah.
When you're listening to somebody else's problems, how does it make you feel?
Well,
When you're being helpful?
good. Yeah, them being helpful. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I can do something for them, because like they've been there for me, even if it's so hard for them to like get stuff out of me, and they're still there. Like they never really left me.
Just a thought you might want to think about. I'm going to give you lots of these during our session today. Things that we probably won't have time to explore, but that you can think about afterwards. You get quite a lot out of helping your friends listening.
Kind of.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It feels good, doesn't it, to help people? Have you ever thought that they might enjoy being able to help you too?
Well, not enjoy.
Well, not enjoy your pain, but enjoy the fact that they can actually be helpful.
Yeah, I think so, but I don't want to put that on them.
But that's not quite the question, is it? But I just want you to think about how receiving and giving are two sides of the same coin. And actually being vulnerable and being prepared to put yourself in that place and enable them to do it can actually be something that really strengthens a friendship. The fact that you're still friends with them since before the relationship means they must be pretty good friends.
Yeah, they're very good friends.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what I'd do without them.
So the relationship, you said it was getting pretty toxic.
Yeah.
And that you decided to end it. You have a son. So how is the relationship with your ex now?
Well, it's better. I feel like throughout almost 3.5 years, he started, going to therapy.
Yeah.
He recently graduated actually from college.
Great.
Yeah, so like he's doing positive steps. Like it doesn't matter that it didn't work for us.
Yeah.
As long as like you're there for Rainer, as long as I'm there, as long as we're both good foundations for him.
Yeah.
Then like it doesn't matter what happened from before. I can be your friend. I can be there for you. But then just do your part.
And that's a great basis, isn't it? Particularly for Rainer.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in exploring what you think are the issues around how you feel about you. What do you think is the sort of essence of the baggage that's left?
Well, my guards are always up. Yeah. I figured that out now, and I have trouble trusting anyone.
Okay. Do you trust yourself?
Yeah, I think that's kind of one of the reasons why I have trouble trusting people is because I barely trust myself.
Okay.
Like I constantly self-doubt, like what if I'm doing this wrong? Oh my God, what if Rainer sees this? Oh, what if stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like
it's a really exhausting place to be, isn't it?
It is. Holding down a job and then doing the household stuff. It's like, oh my God, am I doing this right? Am I, so.
Have you ever thought about the fact that stuff isn't always black and white? It's not always right or wrong. Yeah. It's often just different. If I said to you, you're going to have to find a way from here to Las Vegas, for example, you could go any number of routes, couldn't you? You could go by plane or by coach or by train. Kids don't come with a manual if you're talking about bringing Rainer up.
Yeah.
There isn't a single parent who doesn't think, am I doing this right?
Yeah.
But the self-doubt, one of the problems with that is it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You doubt yourself and you don't listen to that inner voice that says, this is what you do. Yeah.
That's one of the things that I read in your book that was like, if you believe, that's so true.
If you're familiar with the saying, if you believe you can't,
then you won't.
then you won't.
Yeah.
No chance. if you believe you might fail, you're going to make a very different set of decisions to if you believe you're going to succeed. Do you think that successful people, highly successful people, know exactly what they're going to do every stage of the way?
No, I feel like I found out that no, basically like they're all just winging it and just, yeah.
It's called being a human, really. Yeah. But ultimately, the difference is that they're determined that they're going to succeed. And actually, if they don't get it right the first time, they'll learn from that and they'll move on. And I think learning to let go of the fear that you're going to get it wrong will just open so many possibilities for you.
That's, yeah. I mean, like, I know that that's how it should be, but then it's
knowing
so
it and doing
hard.
it.
Yeah, it's so hard. And, like, I don't know, the need for control, I guess, comes another, like, it's another part that I have to work on. Because like I have to have this outcome.
Does that, were you like that before the relationship, or has this happened since the relationship?
I think before the relationship, like it's not so much. It just like, I guess the breakup and everything it triggered it more. And
that's perfectly understandable that you've gone through quite a traumatic experience. And when we do, what we go for is security. Yeah. And security keeps us safe. But you may not be familiar with the principle of if you stay within your comfort zone, okay?
I always tell myself that nothing grows there.
No, it's very comfortable that you stay stuck. In order to move out of your comfort zone, you've actually got to notice the fear and actually do it anyway.
Yeah, bravery.
So let me ask you, you've got a 7-year-old son. All of the time, he is absorbing from you how he should be. What do you want for him?
Well, I want him to know that he doesn't have any limits of what he can do. Like if he wants to do it, then he should do it with a, of course, kind heart.
Okay.
And basically, I don't want him to have any fears that limits him from, being him, fully him.
Genuinely
Yeah,
him.
genuinely him. That's like all I want for him.
Okay, so why is it you want something different for him, but you're prepared to settle for second best?
I have no idea. Okay. I just, you just told me that right now.
Because ultimately, he will model you. Even if you say all of the positive things, he'll be picking up your energy, he'll be picking up, your body language.
That's true.
And so if you're finding it difficult to do it for you, what I often find with people is they find it much easier because they want something different for their children.
Yeah.
Okay? And as a single parent, I know your ex is around, but as a single parent, then it becomes even more important that what you're modelling for your child is something that will help them fly. And the only thing between you and it is this perception of fear. And that's all it is. It's just like a net curtain.
It's a very heavy curtain.
At the moment. But actually, what can you do with a curtain? I mean, what happened to those curtains before when you first arrived? Were they closed or were they open?
They were open.
Okay. Did you have to open them all immediately from nothing right open, or could you open them a little bit at a time?
I guess a little bit at a time. It's much better.
And this is no different. So this is not about taking, the huge monumental step. It's about taking little steps, but doing it consistently.
Consistency, okay.
Small things consistently done make much more difference than the grand gesture that isn't carried through. So let's think about you, okay? Trust is a big issue, and I absolutely understand that. Have you forgiven your ex?
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to think so. I mean, I don't harbor any hate.
Okay, that's a good thing because it doesn't do you any good.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point holding on.
Have you forgiven yourself?
Probably, yes, not. I don't know. I mean, I thought like I would focus on, like forgetting everything that happened first. Okay. And then I guess like what I have to deal with myself, like got pushed in the back burner. That's why I'm having these issues now.
Can I make a suggestion to you?
Sure.
Letting go of the past is not about forgetting. And it was there and it happened and you lived it. So forgetting it is pretty well impossible unless you had a brain transplant. Yeah. But if you let go of it or you put it into the past, because you can't change it.
Yeah.
But at the moment, your past is colouring every moment of your now and potentially of your future.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Like I didn't know that how much it was covering my future until like this issue was brought up.
Yeah.
That I do have those issues.
So when your mum brought it up, was there a particular incident that actually brought it to the fore?
Oh, well, I didn't. Yeah, there was.
Do you want to share it?
Not yet.
And that's absolutely fine. It's still fresh. Okay. But I want you to think about that incident, and within it there'll be a lesson. There'll be something that if you learn that lesson, you can let go of all of the negative emotion, and you can actually learn and move on. And it's when you take that learning, and you seem to me to already be moving quite a long way in learning the lesson. You're very open to it.
Thank you.
But having done that, it's time to let go. Because if you don't, it's like having a chain that keeps yanking you back to the old stuff.
That's exactly how I feel. Like, it's already done. Why is it still yanking me back? Like, what? What's going on? I thought it was already done, and then this happened, and then now it's back.
Well, I would say to you, it's because you've not actually fundamentally dealt with letting go, that you've not forgiven yourself. And I suspect that there might still be a little bit of work to do on letting him go. Yeah. Might be.
Yeah, might be. But,
But mostly you.
Yeah, mostly me.
Okay. How do you feel about yourself as a professional woman?
Well, I'm happy that all of my clients are happy. I think that's like one of the most fulfilling things in my life right now, apart from my son, is that I get to work. You know, like it's my passion, what I do, like my art. It's, so I can't complain.
You're very talented, obviously, otherwise your clients wouldn't be so great.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah?
Whenever they tell me that I did like a good job, you know, like they give me so much freedom with like all the designs that I do.
Okay.
And it gives me, you know, it brings me confidence. And
so they trust you?
Yeah, I guess
they trust you big time, don't they?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I wonder why.
Well, you must come up with the goods. So interestingly, that there are some areas of your life where actually you trust yourself quite well.
Yeah.
There's just a little bit of your life that you don't, but actually that's what's colouring all your life at the moment.
Yeah,
okay.
I think so, because it kind of did affect a little bit of my designs.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm trying to work on that to separate it.
Ultimately, it's not the challenge that defines us, and we all go through challenges. You can't live even to a life of 30 years without some challenges. That doesn't define us, it's what we do with them. Yeah. Okay. So you can actually utilise that as the platform which will take you into something even better. How do you feel about yourself physically?
I've gained more weight now. I was really skinny before. I gained at least 20 pounds.
Okay.
And
are you pleased about that or unhappy about it?
No, I'm actually okay with it. A big part of my life as a teenager before, I wasn't really happy with my weight. I thought, you know, like it can be skinnier and everything. And after giving birth, I gained weight, and like I did everything to lose everything. But now, I don't know, like that doesn't really matter to me anymore.
Was the losing weight for you, or was it for your partner?
No, for me. I feel like it's one of the things that I can control in my life, you know, that I have a control of. So I work out, I do a lot of cardio, I count calories before. But yeah, that's all for me. Like,
I wonder if you're aware just how gorgeous you are. You're absolutely beautiful. You are stunning.
But yeah, I don't really pay attention that much.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just with the weight, but now it's okay. I thought I'd be upset, but yeah, I'm okay with it.
Well, it's looking really good.
Thank you.
Now, what I'd like to do before we finish is I want to give you a couple of exercises.
Okay.
Are you prepared to give them a go?
I think so.
They're very, very simple.
Anything that keeps me moving forward.
Okay.
Yes, please.
These have been tried and tested and they work.
Okay.
All right? So the first thing I'm going to ask you to do, I'll just tell you very briefly the story. A very well-known hypnotherapist was working with an actor, and she was trying to get him to recognise that whatever he did, it was never going to be enough. And she wrote in red lipstick on every mirror, "I am enough," and she asked him to speak those words with some real conviction every day. Now, I took that exercise and I've made it my own. I've got these for you, and these are cards which have "I'm enough." There's a range of different pictures, okay?
Okay.
And what I'd like you to do is to put those around your house. Get your son to do it as well, because developing his self-worth as well, and if you both do it together, going to have much more power, okay?
Okay.
So as you go past it, as you see them, you say 3 times, "I am enough. I am enough. I am enough." All right? And you say it with some real welly, okay?
Okay.
Several times a day, every time you pass it, all right? And I'd put it on your screensaver on your computer, and I want you to do it for a month.
Okay.
I've used this now with countless people, and in terms of their sense of self-worth, in sense of their trust in themselves, it's really made a big difference, okay? So that's the first thing I'd like you to do, okay? The second thing I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think about what it is that you would like. If you had trust, if you were open to what went on, what would that give you?
Wow.
Okay? And I want you to look at the not trusting, what's it costing you? Because the interesting thing, I think, is that when people don't trust and they're not prepared to just step out of their comfort zone, the very thing that most people fear, which is to be alone and lonely, is actually the reality, because they don't take that chance.
I don't know. I mean, like, I'm okay with being alone.
Well, you are, but actually, I'm going to challenge that. Because if you were okay with being alone, trust wouldn't be an issue. You'd be living in a cave.
Well, I mean, like, not alone.
No,
I have with my best friends, but, you know, like, that whole...
Is that going to satisfy you all your life?
I'm not sure. I will try that first.
But either way, not just for a special partner, but with your friends, with your family, trusting yourself, actually forget the other people. This is about learning to trust you, learning to trust that inner wisdom, your inner voice.
Okay.
You are enough, and actually, you've got lots of talents in all sorts of ways that you can learn to trust yourself again, and in doing that, learn to trust other people.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
And let me know how you get on.
I will.
Lovely.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So thank you so much for being part of today.
Much too. Oh my
It's
God.
been an absolute
This is so
pleasure.
amazing.
Thank you.
I was so nervous, but wow. Wow. Wow.
I'm really grateful to Bethany today for joining me. Trust is one of those things that so many people have a problem with, and trusting yourself is absolutely fundamental. If you're having problems trusting people, trusting yourself, trusting that inner voice, then I really would urge you to actually get some help, because life can be so much more powerful, so much greater when you choose to step into the power of being genuinely you. Want to learn more? Grab a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Thriving Not Surviving, the 5 Secret Pathways to Happiness, Success and Fulfillment, on Amazon or wherever good books are sold.